So again, like nothing much super changed here from how you use it. So like we have the day progress as before. We have you can go maximum fog, which puts you in like a completely can't see in front of your eyes environment, anything in between. You have maximum cloud, but we now have clouds. So
Nice.
you can see we have volume clouds. So we can, if we go complete storm, it's not just the gray sky anymore. It's like volume clouds with gray sky mix. So the sun is now blocked, and you can go sort of anywhere in between this. And obviously that's configurable. So again, that's sort of the same as before. The other thing that's new is nighttime. We now have moon, sort of crappy placeholder object. Doesn't look very good, but at least we have now moonlight, so you can see it's casting shadow, and this is all configurable as well, obviously. So nighttime is now a little better. So you remember I said don't edit the nighttime until I give you a moon. So this gives you the complete picture, so you can tweak it based on how bright you want the moon to be and how bright you want the sky to be, and so on, right?
It looks very nice.
Yeah. So, and again, like you were talking about making the night not pitch black. So I've just gone with like a sort of fortnightly light blue.
Yeah. The only
Kind
thing
of like,
I'm not a big fan of is like the character is really dark, but like I'm pretty sure that's probably tweakable. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it just depends on how much light you want on the character. It's really just coming from the sky and the moon. Like if you
Yeah.
want it brighter, you need to make those brighter. So, okay, so that's that. Now for configuration, this is really big update. It does the same job as before, but you had those layers where, you know, the layers overriding, and for each layer you could go and set all the different conditions, like, oh, this one applies this time of day, but and when the wind is strong, and this one applies that time of day, or when you have, you know, these mixed conditions, like what is the cloud level, what is the fog level, what is the wind level, and what is time of day. So you go to each layer and then you mix those up. So that works, but it's sort of complicated from your point of view. So I split it out to be it's much more explicit now. I'm just going to make it daytime. So the first thing is, so again, like this is your step. You go to environment controller there, and as before, the config is repeated in here. So you don't have to go to that config, right? But I've taken that further now, because when you go into anything like, let's say you go in here, right? I've given you warnings what not to mess up. This is my warning. Like, don't change that.
Missing my
so,
name.
so now those layers from before, we now have something called night environment, sunrise environment, day, and sunset. Okay. And these blend based on time of day. So it goes from night to sunrise, sunrise to day, day to sunset. I had to change it this way because the way I was doing the blending before, there were some mathematical problems where night, sunrise, and day were kind of active at the same time. It was causing me a lot of trouble. So now it's always just night, then it's night to sunrise, then it's sunrise to day, then day to day, day to sunset, sunset to night, and so on. So it's like very clean the way it blends, and you don't have to worry about tweaking, like nothing, it just blends. Now, instead of going to the config, you can just edit it in line, like there it is. So you see, we're still only there on the environment object. So I go to the environment object, I go to config, I go to night config, and there it is, right? So again, every config is a combination of four things. It's visual volume, like HDRP visual volume, fog settings, which is now completely separated out. You don't have to edit fog volume settings in the visual volumes.
Mm-hmm.
You have sun and you have moon. But again, you don't have to click here to go to that config. Like this is how you would normally, you would go here, and now we want to go edit this fog. So we go to this fog, and now we've lost our place. See? So again, that's what I want to avoid. So you stick here, environment. Okay, let's say we want to edit sunrise environment, and you see these little shortcuts. So you don't have to go to these. You can open it up right here. There's your visual volume.
Yeah, that's right.
There's your fog settings. There's your sun, and there's your moon. Boom. And you can do this for, let's say, daytime. Any one of those. You can go, okay, daytime, visual volume. There it is. Like you don't have to go anywhere else. You edit the entire environment on this single by clicking environment. So, okay, so that's how all that works, and it's all real time and it saves. So you're playing the game. So let's say you play the game, you want to mess around with sunrise. You go to 0.25. That is exact moment of sunrise. Okay. Now you just go into environment config. Okay. We go to our sunrise. And now what do you want to change? You want to change, you want the sun to be freaking pink. Okay. Well, sunlight you can't actually see now. It's only the sky. So it's a terrible example. But you want the
It didn't
you want the
change. It
sun.
stayed yellow. Did you? Oh, you Control Z
Okay?
it.
Yeah, just Control Z. So let's take it up a notch, just a little peep there. Okay, so I'm saying sunrise. I want sun color to be pink, and there it is. It's pink. See what I mean? So you don't go anywhere else. You just go to environment. You find a place, and you edit all inline, real time, and you're done. So again, like you have visual volume. This is our sky for the morning. So if you want like a green freaking sky, there it is. Like so does that make sense, right? Just
Yeah.
you go to
Well, it
environment, you
makes
go inline,
a lot of
and you
sense.
edit. Okay,
Okay.
there are some rules. So for example, if you look for example at, let's say, daytime, right,
Mm-hmm.
or any of them, if you if you edit the visual volume, you'll see that there's very little left. You don't
Yeah,
if
you
okay,
lost
let's say
those shadows and stuff like that. Where are those now?
um,
Like the
that's in
shadows.
the main shared volume. So for that, you just go to it. It sits. It's not part of the sort of blended config system. It's default shared. Default shared volume has all of the settings on it. So we have. Look at this. We have.
Yeah, like bloom and fog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's in. This is what I'm saying. This is in a shared global setting. So like here is the fog, right? Um, our fog configs manipulate the values in here. So what I'm saying is don't go to environment and find like visual volume, like let's
So
say
I tweak as much as possible on this side. Yeah.
yeah, and
If I
if you
can't
tweak,
commit something, like we go to the visual environment.
yeah, that's final stage. Like even the exposure is now a single global setting. If you want night to be brighter or darker versus day, you just go to so let's take night for example. I go to night. So I'm in day, and it's like, okay, I like this. And I go to night, and like, it's like, it's not quite like I want more visibility from the sky or whatever. And you just go to night, go to the visual volume here. Oops, what did I do?
You went one.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
moon
oh,
is
I
yeah.
just closed it. Yeah, I closed it. So go here and make the night like, okay, I want it like super bright like that, or I want it super dark like that. Only the moon. This is like, so you don't have to mess with exposure per layer. You just, exposure is global setting. Like change the relative values of
So
the of these.
do you think that exposure will just work for all the time?
Well, tell me if it doesn't, and then we work out something, because I've sort of tuned it to some figure that worked, and then
So
I
basically,
tuned
what you
everything
did, you
else
actually
relative.
hid it from you. Don't touch it. Yeah, that's your policy on that.
Well, it's like you can, but then if it breaks, then you're going to cry, and then I have to figure out why. So I would rather say if you don't get the outcome you want by just tweaking these obvious things, then tell
Yeah.
me what is the problem. Then we bring that into it somehow to
Right,
to
right.
fix
No,
it.
sounds good. It's just like you still have the sun, right? Like the intensity of the sun, the brightness of the sun, or moon
That's it. That's
in
exactly,
this
this is
example,
it.
it's
So
going to
for
be moon,
every
right?
single layer, so yeah, like let's say, like give me an example. Take this is nighttime, okay?
Hmm.
So I'm going to night layer. There it is. I want the moon light to be 1. See, now the moon is no longer shining. Like it's very light. You can see tiny shadows still there. So
Hmm.
moon is 1. Or I can say moonlight is freaking 99. It's like super bright moon. Okay. So
Cool.
that is it's right there. So I just had
Yeah.
it like on 10. It's sort of arbitrary. Um, and again, like, so that's your moonlight. You just
Yeah.
edit the moonlight. And if you want to edit the brightness of the sky component, that is just go to the visual volume and change it to like 0 contribution or 99 contribution or whatever, right? So yeah, pretty straightforward stuff. So you should just be able to go there, dig in, and tweak the values and get the outcome. Okay. And I've also completely split sunrise and sunset for you. So to demonstrate, I just made it sort of ridiculous. So you'll see sunrise looks like the old orange we had, but sunset is now to go to the hilltop.
Teleport.
Oh my God. Where am I? There's too many trees. I can't be dealing with a tree count.
Looks nice though.
Sorry.
Yeah. Not enough because
Oh.
we're gonna have enough different type of trees too soon.
Is there any space I can actually see the ocean from this side of the planet? Okay,
I mean, you were here, yeah.
So yes, sunset is now sort of this weird, amazing,
Weird.
kind of retro
Yeah.
80s pop band, pink,
Postcard, yeah.
orange. So again, like, so you can go there, like 075 roughly. So there we are. And then again, it's like, there I am, go to sunset. What don't I like? Okay, let's say we want to edit the fog.
The sun needs to
Fog actually plays quite a big role for us at the moment in getting that kind of low glow going. Like if you see here,
well, I mean, I think like we will do seasonal weather as well. So like we can make a foggy during fall and winter, and
So there'd be sort of overrides for that.
So there
somehow
will be a lot of
these.
things. Yeah, I think that will look really nice.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's
like the sun reflection needs to be as wide as the sun. It's like, so that's
like I told you, I can't fix it at the moment because the sun object is a transparent object, and transparent objects don't show up in the screen space reflection. So I have to work out a solution for that, which I don't have at the moment.
Do you want me to play with the clouds, or they are pretty much set? They can config for clouds, or just
it's basically I'll show you last the clouds one. I just want to show you one other thing before that. Okay, so that's your basic blends between time of day, which is this entire set, this one we've been in the whole time, like configs time of day. Then you have configs weather overrides, which is 2 of them. Okay, one is maximum fog. This is when we're saying like it's so thick you can't almost see in front of your face. So that's your that's this one, maximum fog. It doesn't have a visual volume because this fog must apply to morning, day, night, winter, whatever. It's just saying the fog is at maximum. Okay,
so it's overriding
It's overriding any of the others. So that's why we don't have we can't deal with like brightness of the sky, nothing like that, because then we'll screw up the time of day blended environments. So all we have is a fog, a sun, and a moon. The sun and moon settings are simply hiding it because it's completely obscured by the thickness of the fog. So if I go to, see, I'm there.
Probably need to have a shader.
Maximum.
It takes off the grass when your camera is that low. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is our crazy fog. So it's so thick that all kind of environment, everything's obscured. So there's no sun shining on character. Okay. And the same with cloud. Both these. So the main thing.
If you have fog at max and clouds at max.
The one sort of overrides the other because you can the fog sort of wins out because
fog is a cloud. So technically,
fog is the clouds. The fog is nearby, surrounding the character like up to 1 meter or whatever. So it just kind of kills whatever else is going on behind it. Like it doesn't matter if it's a stormy sky.
Is there a situation where you can see a little bit of cloud and a little bit of fog?
Oh yeah, sure. Like I can do there's a bit of cloud and there's a bit of fog starting to kill the clouds because fog gets crazy close. So you can blend it any way you want. But
zero fog was given that day.
Yeah, zero fog was given. Again, like extremely funny dad jokes. Okay, so and again, this stuff works any time of day. There are problems like the physical clouds do not obscure the sun, but as we go up, I do obscure it with my fading. So the sun is now blocked when we have maximum storm, like a hurricane, that you can't see anything, rain everywhere, clouds covering the whole sky. We just hide the sun completely. So it works anywhere in between, but it doesn't. The volume clouds don't physically hide the sun, so there's some issues to work out around this stuff. But okay, so just back to these settings. You have fog and cloud overrides. The main one for the fog override is obviously the fog settings, which is this. Okay, it's like maximum density. It goes up maximum into the sky. It's pretty straightforward. This one's important. We apply environment brightness to it so that it has the right value for night, morning, day, whatever. So if I set the fog to this level here and it's nighttime, it's not going to see like it's crazy blue, but it's very dark at night. You don't see what I mean. Like it applies environment. Don't check this box. Don't change it there, and don't change it anywhere else. Okay. Don't tick it. Just leave it the hell alone. Okay. So obviously, it goes without saying, for the fog override, the main setting is the fog, yeah. Okay. And for the clouds override, the main setting is the the clouds are separate, so that's sort of irrelevant. But we still hide the sun and moon.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the clouds itself, how does it work? Okay, I don't have shortcuts for you here, so you have to go to them, but it's basically just digging into. Okay, let's just kill this. Kill the fog and kill the nighttime. Right, so
I think like on the horizon we need to blur, not the blur, the like fade them out so that they don't go fully on the horizon. Like usually perception is that you continuously see them like kind of like on horizontal position, a horizontal layer.
Yeah, if you're looking 100 miles away and the cloud is like 1 mile high, it's going to touch the horizon. Basically,
I think like fog will solve that, right? Like because that's what's happening is like the atmosphere fog creates that illusion that cloud.
Yeah. And again, like let's take an example. Like this is daytime.
That's because
I can go to,
not really.
And you know what? I don't know if the freaking volumetric cloud system is covering the fog or the other way around. This is where we don't have this control. But
you want me to add stars? Because
sorry, you broke.
I'm saying
you broke up there.
Stars at night. Do you want me to add stars through VFX graph? Because I can easily add that.
Yeah, we could do something like that. You can add it into, I don't know where it would go, but we have this thing called the atmosphere root, kind of universum style, and it has a rotator, and it has all the heavenly bodies and stuff living here. I don't know.
I can just create a sphere with gazillion stars and add them, and they're gonna glow. And
then we could blend that into one of these configs that say when is it showing and how strong, and like nighttime show it, daytime don't show. Okay, cool. I just want to show you the cloud config. There is nothing special here that I control. It's literally just controlling the HDRP volumetric clouds. But I didn't want to have like a billion settings. Like I just put the most important ones here. If we need more, I bring them in. But so there's a clear day config and a maximum storm clouds config, and we just blend between them. And they just look like this. You have a shape factor, you have a density multiplier, and you have a shape scale. And you'll have to look at HDRP config documentation just to see what they mean. But so yeah, the defaults are pretty all right, sort of for like alpha 1. Like we don't have to stress too much about perfecting them for now. The main thing is that when it's rain and storm, we just want to cover the sky, and we can have like little clouds show up or whatever. But I would say
are there clouds above you? Because it seems like a lot of them on the horizon.
Yeah, they are above, but obviously if you think about it mathematically, if you have constant repeative clouds, then as you go further away into the distance, you're seeing more of them at that angle. Yeah, so they seem to dense up as you're looking into infinity, whereas above your head you might only see like 3. So yeah, there's a lot.
It's not like if you talk about from a realistic standpoint, the further ones are getting occluded by atmosphere fog, right?
Yeah, they should. I just don't understand.
You don't have more clouds at the horizon. We have kind of similar, so it's balanced out with fog.
Yeah, and the question here is that I haven't answered yet is whether or not Unity is putting the fog back over the cloud or the other way around. We can test it quickly. Like
there might be
fog. Actually, I think we've answered that, because if I say cloudy day like such, right? I'm going to make the sun really hit them.
So that they're visible. I think
Yeah,
they
let's
were
say
pretty okay. Yeah.
there. Okay, if I do that, right, and I increase our fog level, right?
You know, the problem with your fog is that it's low. That's why it's not going all the way up, right?
Yeah, no, no, yeah,
Happening.
yeah. That's controllable in this little configs I just showed you. But it depends on what kind of look you go, because I use the fog for a glow on the mornings, like when the sun is just peeking out the horizon. I use actually the fog to create like a foggy glow at the base. But again, this is just things
Yeah,
you can look at. But
yeah.
but check this. See, the fog is covering the clouds. See, fog is covering the clouds, so we can kill it on the horizon. So, like for example, if I go to again, like let's test it. Like I go to the environment, we're in midday environment here.
You just need
Okay.
to match the ocean level horizon with like make it a little bit brighter because like it matches the grayness of the cloud. But I can play with it, you know. That's
Yeah,
why
and again, we're using this is screen space reflection, so you're going to see exactly on the ocean what you see in the
I
sky.
just
So
don't want to make flat Earth people angry because it looks very like it's fear right now. So so we need to make it
yeah,
like it's a flat Earth.
yeah. Again, again, this is look at HDRP clouds, and if you like I say, like we have a few settings exposed, but if you really want to experiment with it, go to the base layer over here, right? Go to the actual volumetric crowds over here. Some of them you can't change now because see these three is what I'm manipulating out of our config and blending, right?
Yeah.
But you could mess around with the other ones and see what whether they do. Like it does. Like lowest cloud at the moment is 1,000 meters. It's just that they're infinite distance, so you see them like touching the horizon.
How,
So I've played with this. Like if you go like lowest cloud is 5,000, so now they're super high in the sky, so they look smaller, but because they go infinite, they still touch the horizon. So you can't. That's the reality. But we can hopefully. So let's look at this, right? So I'm going to environment. I'm going to time of day. We're in day right now. Going to day, and I'm going to edit the day fog settings. And currently, like you could say, bring it up to 300
like
with
change it based on time?
full density. You see, like there's full density up to let's say up to 100. To drive the point home, I'll just make them pink quickly. See, that is the fog for the daytime default. It's fading from clouds to fog, and that's what you see also reflected in the water, the pink showing up. So I'm just going to backtrack on this, but like you can see, we can manipulate these things. They all work. By the way, zero density for fog is not really zero. It's just sort of it just means far. You can see there's slight fogginess on that hill, even far away. Like at zero, it's like if I made this very obvious, like see the pink, there is still fog at zero. So zero doesn't mean zero. This is sort of a hacked value at the moment. But yeah, there you go. This is what's going on. I think it's for you to go into the settings to config, and you don't lose your track and have to backtrack back up to the main config. It's everything
No, that helps a
is
lot. Like
in line. Everything is in line.
sure.
So like I say, when you edit, if you get frustrated because you can't find something, like rather than then hop into default and change 1,000 things here, like let's chat and like I bring you the setting that you need back into it. It's like I say, even exposure right now is only here in the shared place.
Yeah.
So this should be a global setting. So I would say after everything is tuned, you could say, well, our whole game in general is just we want it a little bit darker, so we're going to do that, or that. So this is why I want it to be a final switch. Like all the volumes that are blended are relatively correct, and they look good, but you wanted to bring it up a little bit in brightness, or like the exposure. You wanted to tweak it a little bit as a single setting, because what I found is like as soon as you start copying like let's say fog exposure and these ones into multiple places in the blended volumes, you quickly just get utterly confused as to like if I tweak this now, that's broken, then I tweak this one. You have to keep also making copied changes like, oh, the exposure. Now I need to go change it in these 3 volumes like zero point 0.1 up. So it becomes a nightmare. I'm trying to bring most of the settings into a single shared place. and then you just tweak over that using this inline config. And this is what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's all
Anyway,
looks really great. Yeah, I will play with it. I will try to set up the lighting and stuff. And if or when I will have questions, or I probably will, I'll let you know.
yeah, okay, that's cool. So yeah, this is in May. Natalie, you'll need to grab also from this before you continue editing further, because like obviously like I've had to make tweaks and stuff that touches on the world, like some references and things. So
I'll be
it's,
recording just